Alrighty, guys, welcome back to the Dating Doc TV. We're so excited to start off our summer kickoff edition. And as you can see, we got Tony back here today. I was like, how you doing, Tony?
What's up? What's up? Glad to
There
be in
you
the
go.
house.
There you go. I see you pumping up those muscles, showing to everyone, showing off.
Ooh, sun's out, guns out. Mm.
There you go. So today we're going to be talking about, summer love. Do you have a summer roster or are you just avoiding summer love? Right? So it's either or. A lot of times in the summer, we always think about like, ooh, summer fling, summer love, as quoted by JT. I was like, and but yeah, it's usually one or the other. So every time summer comes around, and I talk to all my single friends, they're always like they're about summer love, finding a summer fling, or they're just avoiding it. And I was like, and like actually, like some people we met at Lock and Terror recently, I remember
Yeah.
weren't those two women? They were just like, no, we're just not. We're
Yeah, so it was just like this on and going thing about, what the past was like. They're just doing me. But talking to them about, the possibilities of dating and finding somebody that's compatible, everybody's ears goes up and they're like, oh, well, yeah, that'd be nice. And I'm like, okay, so what are you doing, active? I'm trying to hear everybody's plan about how are you going to move forward if you want somebody compatible? What is your plan, to actually do that? And I think that's when it, like they had to realize, like, yes, going to speed dating and apps and trying to put yourself out there a little bit, it's got to be the way. That's something you have to look forward to doing if you actually want to move forward instead of just harping on the past and sipping down mimosas. You know what I'm saying?
we have playa 2158 said they don't want to put in the work. Yeah, maybe that might be the case.
Yeah, because it is work. It is work, and I think if that part gets put out, like, yo, it's work, because I think people have this movie theater expectation that they're gonna just go into Starbucks one day and somebody's gonna order the same thing, and they're not gonna have anybody sitting at their table, just like you're not, and you guys are just gonna have this nice little Disney meetup, and I'm like, nah, don't nobody trust nobody no more. You have to get out there. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, I
and
was gonna
get out
say
that introvert thing.
I feel like it's not that it won't happen, but it's
Right.
very unrealistic nowadays to have a kind of like a Disney-esque experience per se.
Right.
It's not saying that that doesn't happen or it doesn't still happen, but it's just a little bit less common, especially with social media and, different people being, have different personalities and different experiences
Yeah.
in dating, that kind of makes them put their guard up or guard down, depending on how their experiences have been.
Depending on how
So,
their experiences are.
yep. And I think sometimes when women or men only
Okay.
anticipate having a Disney-esque dating experience, I feel like their their guards might they're totally down and their
Yep.
expectations might be way, way too high
That
because
part.
the moment that something bad happens or it goes south or something red flag pops up,
Yep.
their heart gets broken and shattered in a heartbeat and they're just like, oh my god, what happened? It was supposed to be perfect and now it's not perfect. And it's like I feel like sometimes having those unrealistic expectations doesn't help.
Exactly. And I think, what I'm saying, when it comes down to that, and this is something too when I say about the unrealistic, we've been out and you've been out on the streets. We ask people these questions. We see these videos with high value man, high value woman. What do women really want? Even average women or below average women. What do really they want? They want this 5 star. It's gotta be, we're not going back to, Cheesecake Factory, kind of thing. And so there's this prerequisite that most women just don't want a casual date, and when we go on the streets, that's not what we find. We're finding women that say, dude, if he puts together a picnic, I'm down. If and guys are like, okay, I've never done that before, but if she's willing to go for it, I go find something, put it in a little basket, go to Michael's or something like that, put a little something together and figure it out. We'll go to a park and like get to know each other. But you know what, I think a lot of people I think when it comes down to these more, I guess, quiet settings, you can't hide. You can't hide. I can hide if I take you out to a nice 5-star restaurant. You don't know if I took a loan for that. I can hide. I can rent a car. I can get a loan. Take you on a lavish
Oh
day.
my
You know what I'm saying?
gosh.
You don't know.
I've never thought of that. That is literally insane. I can't imagine that a male or female just like does that like just for a date and like not with no guarantee that there will be another one. And I think that's the
No.
perfect example of like that's a too hot to handle moment in the summer. That's like if you feel the need that you're probably having to take out a loan or borrow someone's car and you're just showing basically not being genuine to that person,
Right.
maybe you should stay in and avoid summer love.
There you go. And it's like it goes down to insecurities. And the thing about insecurities is if we have them in some area of our life, but we deal with them differently. And some people, when they deal with their insecurities, they hide, you know. And so, I had this one girlfriend in the past, like I never saw her real face and hair until like almost a year and a half later. I was like, dude, what in the world? I mean, I'm talking about she knew how to do it for pool parties, winter, summer cold, caught in the rain. Like I never saw the real. I was like, dude. And next thing you know, just out of nowhere, she just had a don't care day, and I was like, oh, that's what you look like. I had no idea. You know what I'm saying? That was your hair color. I had no idea those weren't your eyes. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know all this stuff. And I mean, I think with the insecurity when it comes down to men, if we think that all she wants is the money, shiny things, stuff like that, then if I feel like the girl or most men, if they feel like they're out of their league, if they feel like they see themselves as a 3 and she's like a 9, he's like, oh man, he may go to that extreme and say, okay, I'm gonna go buy, go take a loan, take her on a nice date, take pictures by this car that's not mine, send her the pictures, and say, let's go on a date, have a bomb out day, and it's like, what they do is, oh man, I don't want to mess somebody's game up, but what I'm saying, what they do is, I don't throw somebody out there, but I mean, what they do is they have the lavish date and then they just become busy for a long time until they can get the money up to do it again. You know what I'm saying? And they just keep doing that and keep doing that until eventually the person is so wowed by their personality that he's hoping one day, can I tell her, sort of like the and this has happened before. This is 90s stuff, right? Princess Jasmine and Aladdin. He puts on this whole facade that he's a prince. He's not. He's broke. He don't have nothing but a monkey that steals with him. You know what I'm saying? It's just him and a monkey robbing people. He
But she
sees his
falls in
prince,
love with him.
but she falls in love. So here's the thing, right? You got to keep the act up long enough for Princess Jasmine to like you, right? So this is what happens with a lot of women and their extreme measures for makeup and hair and all this. Is like, well, I got to keep him around until he loves me, until he sees me without it. Is he gonna really see me the same way? And I think a lot of times with people, they, like I said, they manage their insecurities another way, and that's what they do.
Yeah, so I put this out there in the chat and I said, is it really about money? Surely it can't be. And then we got a response saying,
Whatever we got.
well, it's not primarily merit based anymore. How do you feel about that, Tony?
Okay. It's not basically merit anymore.
He's saying it's not primarily merit based anymore.
No, yeah, I mean, it's really not, because you know what? A lot of people are starting to take the blindfolds off and they realize you could have money, you could be crazy. You could,
That is true. It's like, you could probably be like the most perfect 10 out of 10 person out on the outside, but maybe in the inside, you're like a 1 out of 10. And I
yeah,
feel like,
yeah.
where do you draw the line? Is especially in the summer, like too hot to handle moments. Like, oh my gosh, this guy is or woman is a 10 out of 10, but they are literally crazy or they're literally insane or they act, very strange out of the box or they're, anticipating a lot of things from me. Or maybe they drop the I love you word on like date number 1 or
Oh,
date number 2.
man.
And this is like a perfect example of like maybe
Lost the
you're just too
secrets.
hot to handle and I'm just it's perfect for me to just like go away slowly, slowly, back up, back up, back up, back up. Oh, be careful.
Homer Simpson fade into the bushes.
I was like, maybe that's a
Yeah.
perfect example of too hot to handle. I was like, well, okay, I got a little surprise for the viewers. So, in addition to the usual street content we show, here
Yeah.
is a little feature from somebody I mentioned earlier. I was like, can't
Okay.
wait for you guys to see it. Let's see what we got here. Just a little surprise, little surprise.
Here we go. Here we
Okay.
go.
I was like, let's see who we got.
I think it's special was behind the back. So turn around and now pick up the slack. Austin, take it to the bridge. Dirty.
There we go. So that was just a little snippet from the JT concert that just
Oh, that's what it was. I
happened.
was trying to get a look close
Yeah,
up. I was like, "Oh,
it
who's
was just
that?"
a little snippet. He was actually in San Antonio not that long ago, and
Oh,
he
he was.
probably went to Austin. So that was super fun. And I was like, so if you guys are a fan of JT, he does have a song out there called Summer Love, and he has that very infamous song, Sexy Back. So just had to throw a little surprise out there if you guys did get to catch him. So
Nice.
getting into the summer, we're talking about like, are you just too hot to handle? Are you a hot mess? It is in the summer, there's just like a big fine line, right? Because in the summer,
Hmm.
everyone's out of college right now for the most part, right? So,
Yeah.
all different levels are out on school break, different ages are on school break. Maybe people are taking vacations. Maybe people are, in town just for like a week or two for
For
business
sure.
purposes. And then they're just like, okay, bye. And, I've had some people tell me some stories of that they know a lot of people, from the dating apps that are like, well, I'm only going to be in, let's just say San Antonio for a week for business. So if you want to meet up or hook up, let me know. I'm gonna be here for a week. And it's and I feel like that is a perfect example of like too hot to handle. You're a hot mess. You're literally saying I'm gonna be here for 1 week only. Anybody and everybody hit me up. Come to my hotel room. It's just
Oh my God, like mating season. I sound like animals. Oh, this is my mating season. I'm in town. I'm ready.
exactly. And
Wild.
I just always wonder if every year, and you can let us know in the chat how you feel about this, if the seasons change, meaning it's summertime, and maybe
Mm,
this summer it's going to be very female led, or maybe this summer it's actually going to be very male led, right? Meaning that the men will mostly be calling the shots, inviting the women, taking them on dates, or vice versa. Maybe women are going to lead this year in the summer, and they're going to be like, no, I want to be on the date. I'm going
mm,
to be the one at the pool. I'm the one who's going to be looking hot on the pool, and you have to come to me, right? I feel like
ooh.
every season I've noticed like a shift in energy and changes of just like, wow, this is like a very like male dominating year, or this is like a very like female led
Yeah.
year, right? And I feel
Right.
like it always changes, and you just never know what it's going to be. What are your predictions for summer 2024, Tony? Is it going to be male dominant or female dominant?
I think it's going to be male dominant.
Ooh,
I
this is a good
think,
point right here. So you said male dominant, and this person said yes, social media dictates it, which is part of the like male or female lead. And then he also said like, for example, hot girl summer.
yeah,
And that's literally a perfect example. I was like, yeah, because like once you start up like, for example, Meg the Stallion is doing her Hot Girl Summer tour, right? And when that song
yep,
came out, that was like the whole era and model of the summer. And so all the women were like Hot Girl Summer, Hot Girl Summer, Hot Girl Summer, like literally to everything and any.
everything, everything. It was everywhere.
I know it's like, but
Uh,
why can't men do that too? Why can't they say, it's hot guy summer? It can also
well,
be
here,
applied to it can be applied to men. Men are
so
also hot too.
I think here's what I think might make it dominant. If usually around this time, right? Even the gym girls got they got the spandex on. These days, it's almost year round. If you're really committed, that's year round. You got the spandex, the leggings on for the summer and the winter. If you just really
I
committed,
know they
you,
are.
you know what I'm saying. In the winter, it's leggings and a sweater. In the summertime, it's spaghetti strap and leggings again. So I mean, but if
Ew. Let's see. He said is scarcity for the men. So what do you mean by that? Like for the men, do you mean like there's a less pool of women to choose from? Or do you mean like it's less men that are in the like hot men era,
well,
essentially?
when I say hot men women being dominant.
Yeah, no. I'm just like pointing out the comment that just came out. So
Oh,
we were talking about like he was talking about like it could be dominated by women like the hot girl summer stuff.
oh
So
yeah.
this person commented like scarcity for men. So I'm just asking this person like, is it that in terms of like there's not a lot of men out there to pull from, or is it the other way around? So I'm patiently waiting for his answer.
Oh yeah, no, it's I think it might have it pertaining to like, the whole catch and chase situation, the chase and catch, who's really baiting, you know. And for the situation, I thought the whole Megan Stallion thing, I mean, she's out there, shaking and then she's got her short stuff on. So I'm like, she's baiting. She's baiting for men to watch. So I was
Oh,
like,
oh,
okay,
here it is. Here is his
okay.
answer. She said for less women for men to be able to dictate how the summer will go. There you go. Question answered.
Ooh.
There you go.
Ooh, yeah. Because you know what? Social media does raise that bar about who's gonna do what, and it's really who kicks off in the spring to promote summer, and that's who does it. And I think last time when Megan Stallion did it, she had dropped that album way in spring, way future spring, and next thing you know, by the time summer came around, it was like, right, we was overwhelmed. Everybody had, so I was like, it was everywhere. But again, to me, as a male, I was just like, well, it looked like a bait, like she's baiting. I'm like, okay, well, she's making men pay attention to women. This isn't about high value, low value. She's just making us pay attention. She's saying the women are hot and y'all are missing out if y'all trying to debate about the money. So I was like, you know what? Yeah. But it was so again, women ran it. They controlled the bar on, where they was gonna be at, what they was gonna do. I was like, oh man. But I feel like it could be male dominant only because, we've been getting our stuff together. A lot of men been getting their stuff together. A lot of men been getting out here trying to get their stuff together. So I'm feeling like it's gonna be a lot of chasing going on. A lot of men gonna be outside really looking for that girl. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta give a clap right here to the men. He
Okay.
hit it on the spot with this one. He's like, we won spring break this soft guy era stuff. He was like, and I mean, you guys did. You did. That was a
Yeah.
a really. It actually was the phenomenon was like longer than I thought it was gonna be, but yeah, that was pretty interesting to really like showcase your side and your feelings about being in the soft guy era. Do you remember that?
Yeah. That was a weird time. That was a really weird time. I
That was
think
weird for you. I feel like a lot of guys were like super into it. They were like, "Yes, I am on board. Yes, you're the one who leads the date and pays for my meal. Yes, all these things like basically the things that women expect is essentially what the males were saying like, I'm in my soft guy era. This is where, I go on the date and the women, they pay for my food, they pay for my drinks, they pay for for me to get my brows done. They're the ones that bring me flowers. There was a funny TikTok out there
it
that
was
was like, I'm in my soft guy era and I can't believe I went on a date and this woman didn't even propose to pay the bill. So that's
yo,
essentially what that was
yo.
about.
Yeah, right. It was just okay. So again, something we say, uh, I guess certain people say, I guess in certain country areas when they say equal rights, equal fights. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, the fight was all about, I think Steve Harvey started it a few years ago about there's these men don't have any manners anymore. We're not pulling out the chair, opening up the door. And we started to think about it. It was like, well, I mean, just like you know, you want me to let down the toilet for you, could you lift this seat up for me? Could we kind of reverse that? I would rather leave it up. Could you leave it up for me? Could you actually, so we wanted some equal rights in that to say, to move the bar and be like, look, man, we got things we be wanting in the relationship that we don't get. And we just deal with it. And so we kind of got, it started with really just kind of barking back, "Huh, you men don't do nothing." Well, all right, well, what y'all do? And next thing you know, somebody came up and started talking about how they feel, and then they just turned into a whole Drake situation, like really, really soft, really, what about me kind of thing. And I was like, oh, come on, man. It was weird for me because you go out somewhere or do something, and I'm slightly a little bit of an alpha, so I don't mind just doing stuff. You know what I mean? I'm proactive. I'm not gonna wait. I'm the type of guy. Yes, I do want the female to walk on the inside of the sidewalk, not the outside. So I'm not gonna wait on that. I'm just gonna kind of slightly, gently move her to the side. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm doing it. It's like, oh, or did you want me to be the one to kind of walk on the outside? It's okay. I mean, I'll keep you safe. And that phrase, "I'll keep you safe," I didn't know how to feel about that. I was like, what you mean by that? What you mean you gonna keep me safe?
You
You
think
know what I'm
that's
saying?
a little too personal to say to somebody now? Like, "Ooh, I'll
I,
keep you safe."
I don't know. It just made me feel like I don't know. I guess I've
Did it
always
make you
said that.
feel like you weren't being safe enough to feel to that person?
Yeah, like I was like, wait, am I not fulfilling my protective role where she felt the need to tell me I'll keep you safe? I'm like, what you mean by that? You know what I'm saying? Like, do I really need to be protected? I mean, yeah, I guess if some crazy X rolls up, yeah, I mean, I hope you can fight. You know what I mean? But other than that, I'm like, I don't know why I would need you to protect me from what, by the way. And it just that sent me into like this whole vortex of a spiral, just in a thought pattern. Like, why did she say that? Why did she say I'll protect you? And I was just going back on online, trying to get my confidence up and get some awareness. Here's all this sophomore era, like I have feelings too, and I'm like, come
I
on,
mean, I think this
man.
is true. I've had a lot of men say this. So he was saying women fundamentally cause the we have to pursue them. Men are like the shoe salesman in the mall trying to approach you. And I mean, this person's definitely not wrong, because
They
a lot
not.
of people always like, when they're asking women or we do straight interviews, it's always like, oh, well, when was the last time you approached a man? When was the last time you asked a guy out, right? And I'm not like trying to bash women at all. It's just like a simple, just very logistical everyday dating thing where it
Yeah,
has been the expectation for who knows how many centuries now, where men are the ones expected to come up to women, come up to us, ask us
yeah,
out, right? They're the ones who are anticipated to have to pay for our meals,
right.
so I know there's definitely been a lot of pressure on men, and I feel like the soft guy era stuff really kind of, I wouldn't say put like an end to it. I would just say that it kind of brought to light, like, hey, men also do like to be appreciated and spoiled, and it's nice when maybe a stress or pressure is alleviated off of them if the women like to lead, you know
Mhm.
so
It's it's
I definitely see that all the time. Like even at like a good example is
okay.
bars. I see that at bars all the time where it's just the women, sitting somewhere, giggling, laughing, whether it's a group of two, three, four, five,
Yep.
or by themselves. And it's most of the time it is a male coming up to them being like, "Hey, what you doing? Can I buy you a drink?" And either they're gonna they're gonna give into it, or they're gonna be like, "Ew, no."
Yeah. It's a 50-50, man. It can be really tragic. It can be really tragic. You know what I mean? And I think, to kind of put out that, hey, you know, to I guess to we wanted to show we wanted empathy. That's really what it's about. Empathy. We want to let you know what it really feels like to be on the other side, to have to try and persuade somebody you don't know. And before you get a chance to really, even tell them what your favorite color is, they look you out, you look you up and down, look at your outfit, they look at what you're drinking, and they may just judge you right off that, just off cover. And it's like, dang, man. But at the same time, it's like, well, again, if you have that level of confidence to be able to, make those approaches or whatever, you have to already have that in your head that, hey, she could just turn it down. Which a lot of times if we've come up to you, like with most men, when we come to women, we've already contemplated that she might do, what we're going to do if she rejects. If she rejects, this is what I'm going to do. If she accepts, then of course, this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to be too excited. I'm going to be cool about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to flip all out and jump in the air, nothing like that. No, I'm gonna be really cool about it. And, especially if she has friends around, which could be even more intimidating because a girl could be into you, but her friend may not. So she could be trying to convince her to like let you walk off, and it's like, come on, man, don't do
Oh
that.
yeah, that's definitely not cool.
Yeah, but it
That's
happens,
very
and we
not
have to
cool.
already contemplate that. Like, okay, what am I gonna do if this happens? Because when we walk up, trust me, in our head, we've walked up like 50 times already. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Now this is definitely the perfect time for me to show y'all one of the
Do it.
videos we got out at stream content. Okay, so I let Tony
Let's
take
show
the
that.
lead here during here. Oh, we just
Yeah, she took a day off.
show his comment really fast because he's tying into what you were saying.
Okay.
Women who maliciously reject and men who can't handle rejection is messing it up for all of us. Yeah, so that's definitely the hard part, right? Because I feel like there is a level of sincere niceness and
Yeah.
genuine disinterest that you can show if a man asks you out and you just shut him down. Because every time that has ever happened to me, I'm always really nice about it, like, okay, no, no, thank you, or you know what, I appreciate. Lately I've been trying to be more positive to them, trying to like give them compliments
Yeah.
of, like, I'll say like, no, thank you. I'm not interested, but I'm so flattered that you found me attractive or that you wanted to ask me out. And I commend your courage and your bravery for coming to ask me out because I know it takes a lot of courage and a lot of bravery for you just to go up to a stranger that you don't know. So I've been trying to
Yeah.
make sure that I keep them uplifted at the end of it. Like, yes, I am telling them no, but also I'm giving them compliments. I'm boosting up their confidence. I'm telling them like,
Yeah.
thank you. I appreciate your bravery. I commend you for coming up. I'm sorry that I wasn't interested, but that doesn't mean the next person's not, right? So
Right.
I always want to keep their confidence boosted because I know that
Yeah.
me helping out their confidence will only help them out for the next time.
Yeah. And that's all we really want. We know that we can't get everybody, but I mean to be really harsh about it, and we've had cross-eyed, buck beavered, big giant lip, cross-eyed girls come up to us, and we sit there and be like, nah, I'm good. We may even lie a little, like I'm taken. I got a girlfriend. I'm just hanging out with the guys tonight. Thank you, kind of thing. And she just walks off, and go try somebody else. It don't hurt us
Basically,
none. You know what I mean? So I think that's just like I said, empathy, man. So let's
I know
let's, let's
that's
roll
something
this
you
crib about
say.
this summertime. See what we got going.
All right, now let me show you the street content that we just got.
All right, what's up? It's
Tell me
Tony with the Dating
what
Dot. We got a question on this hotline.
you're
So
talking
look we got my man. Who we got here today?
Wyatt.
What's up, my guy? All right, so I got this question to ask. If you're on a first date and the girl got a horrible outfit, she's got like a polka dot shirt, zebra shorts on, it's real horrible, don't match at all. It's first date. Would you, and you up in here, would you suggest buying her an outfit? Or would you be like, nah, I'm gonna pass on it? You're not gonna say nothing.
I'm definitely gonna be thinking, but if it's the first date, if she's cool,
Yeah.
then we gonna see how the second date turns out. I'll just think about it, but if she just like that second date, I'll
You gonna say something?
I'm definitely
I
gonna
gotta say
say something.
something
I'll
about
definitely
that.
say something.
All right, question number 2. All right, what if she shows up and then she's like, she wants to like change your outfit? You already cool. You got your stuff on. You like, dude, I'm already swagged out. And she's like, let's just go buy you an outfit. Would you take on that, or would you be like, nah, I'll pass?
Absolutely, if she's buying it. Absolutely, I'm not passing that up.
See, it's not that bad. See, we pliable. Sometimes you can just buy
about. That was a
the.
funny one. We always enjoy doing our street interviews. We love interacting and meeting new people. You guys always
Yeah.
are hilarious. We enjoy hearing what you guys have to say.
Yes.
So thank you to all our participants this week who are involved in our street
Yes.
content. That was so much fun.
Yes.
That was a funny question where we were asking people, like, what if your first date is at a mall and men or women show up and you're like, wow, I don't like your style. I don't like your outfit. And it's like, can you imagine if they had that urge to be like, you know what? Your outfit is so bad. But they don't say that. They're just like, you know what? Oh my God. I would just like love to buy you another outfit. Like, let's go
Yeah.
shop here
Yeah.
like right now.
You can't throw a foul ball like on first sight. Like you did all this conversating. You finally got a day that you guys can meet up because that's like the hardest part of it, right? After finally getting somebody to conversate with every day, then you guys try to meet up. That's when your boss is like, "Yo, I need you at work all the days, all the." You're like, "Dude, you never asked me to be here all this way." As soon as I ask somebody, let's meet up. All of a sudden, all our available days just get swapped up. So the fact that you would do all of that work, finally get there to meet the person, and you're looking like, what do you have on?
I
And
know. I
so
did.
it's
I
just,
did think it was pretty funny though that they were. We actually had a lot of men who participated this time around, which is awesome. I was like, sometimes I
yes,
feel like the men can be kind of shy out there, so I'm so happy that they participated. So, like I said,
yeah,
thank you
they
to
are
everyone
good.
who did our street interviews. We got another one to show you in a little bit. So, but now I want to take it to best summer dates. Would you rather edition? So here we got.
Ooh,
Would you rather go fishing or would you rather go mini golf? What are you, Tony?
ooh, I'm gonna do that mini golf.
You know what? I'm gonna do the mini golf too. Why did you pick mini golf over fishing?
All right, very interesting. Yaks. All right, so it can go so many ways in the wrong direction because somebody you can easily get hurt out there. What if you pull a fish and that thing starts? It it's just so many ways it can go wrong. People getting wet. Like I said, this situation, this looks really nice. Whatever, and the setting is nice and everything like that. But it's like again, the work and the effort that you have to put just to get to this site. Um, it's worth it when you get there, but I think this is more when you guys know each other, the relationship because it could be hot, you got to deal with the weather, you know what I mean? And so, it could be a lot of things that it takes a lot of work, that goes into fishing.
He
So
agrees with
to
you, Tony.
before, huh?
He agrees with you. It's like mini golf. I agree with what Tony's saying.
Yes, it's like it's a lot of work to do some fishing. So, but it's more of a relationship. So this is like, you know, after our first anniversary and we decide we want to do something adventurous because we went out to the restaurants. We saw the movies. We've done the cute clean thing. I saw you eat now.
Ooh,
You know
this
what
is
I
a good
mean?
point. Like what you were saying. You said fishing is a lot more intimate, though, which is just
It
what you were
is.
saying. You were saying, yeah, maybe it is a better date for someone who's further along, like a more than like 5 or so dates in, depending on your
Yeah.
connection. Yeah, because that can definitely be 100% an intimate experience because you're going to be very isolated to yourselves. Because in that situation, it's like there's probably not really any outside noise. You're probably going to be very alone, minus maybe there someone else is fishing out too, but probably at a distance, like you're probably far away from them anyway. Like in that
Yeah.
moment, it's just like you, the person, and nature.
There you go. And I think you really need to be able to trust a person to go out there. You know what I mean? You really need to be able to trust somebody. They got to know you enough to be like, I can be alone with this person in that situation. You know what I mean? You don't want to be taking those serial killer woman out to the doggone, you know
Oh
what
my
I'm saying?
god. I was funny that you say that because I just saw a scary movie. It was the movie that's a from the perspective of a serial killer. I was like, it just came out. But yeah, I always think it's like the weirdest thing when horror movies come out in the
Mhm.
summer.
You got to live to tell your story. You know what I mean? And I mean, and the thing about it is, like I said, no corner probably a thing around you. I
Yeah,
mean,
nobody's really judging you unless I don't know the fish are, but
right. And you know what? And here's the thing. I think fishing fishing is one thing when I guess you're with friends and everything like that, you can really share those intimate moments. When you're talking about your significant other, depending on where you are in a relationship, that's when you say, okay, we can be alone with nature and she can see you gut a fish and you can be a real man, you know what I'm saying? Gutting the fish, putting the worm on a hook, you know what I mean? Or you just throw it back. You ain't got to be nasty about it. Just catch it and throw it back. Watch her freak out
exactly.
over the flapping fin. You know what I mean?
All right, here's another one. These might be a little comic stream, but doesn't
Ooh,
matter. So this one is: would you rather go on a ice cream day if you're in San Antonio? I definitely have some recommendations if you want to ask, and or four wheeling. So I don't know if I would consider four wheeling super intimate, but maybe it could be because if you're just on one four wheeler, then
let
that's
me let
definitely
me.
very, very intimate, especially if you're just on one four wheeler. Ice cream,
Nah, no.
it's very chill setting, versus ice cream, literally just going out, getting some ice cream. Now, how you eat your ice cream is another thing because you could just be like going to town, or the other
Uh,
person might be a little shy and they're just like lick, 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 lick.
Yo,
So I
let me
don't
tell
know
you
which is
something.
like a better or less awkward experience between ice cream and four wheeling. But also, I don't know a lot of people that still have four wheelers or want to go out four wheeling. I don't even know if
Man,
that's like, I don't know, that might be an obscure date idea, but maybe it's not,
no.
depending on where you live.
Listen, way I see this in a man's mind, a win is a win. A win is a win. Listen, I okay because I'm not gonna
So
give.
which one are you picking? What are you picking? You're picking four wheeling or ice
I'm
cream?
I'm picking four wheeler. Let me and
I'm
let me
picking ice
let me.
cream.
All right, so let me plug you in on some more game. I'm just exposing the fellas tonight. All right, listen. When it's a because I like motorcycles and stuff like that. So my thing is when you're on a four wheeler, you know what I mean, or any type of motorized bike with no vehicle with no doors. All right, in that situation right there with the four wheeler, man, you're sitting there riding. She has to hold you for safety.
Wow,
Oh,
Tony. Wow, Tony. Wow.
man,
I'm just kidding.
she has to hold you for safety. She's not gonna just want to throw her hands in the air, not the whole time. See, and so if I go over
Maybe just
little
one.
bumps here and
Maybe
there,
just one.
oh yeah. But you know what? She automatically has to hold me for safety, and I'm like, boom. And if she rides, I get to hold her automatically. Super close. So
Man, it
I'm just
seems like
like,
it's a
oh yeah,
win-win situation.
oh it's a win-win situation. But I'm definitely going for that four wheeler because that is automatic contact, and I'm like, yeah, hold me.
That's cool. Okay, we got another set right here. We have drive-in movies or
Ooh.
fairs.
Yo, come on, man. Come on. It's a win-win. Drive-ins always are gonna win.
Oh no, here we go again. I'm just
Drive-ins are
kidding.
gonna win. I'm secluded in the car. I'm not gonna talk about things that happens in cars. We all know it. But it's just like we're secluded in that moment. And you know what I'm saying? If that's not going down, you guys behave yourself. But if that's not going down, you know what I'm saying? We're in our own bubble. We get to comment on the movie. If it's funny, and let's just say she's one of those weird laughers, it's all right. You know what? We're in the car. Nobody heard it. It's just me. You know, and she got this weird deep voice laugh. I didn't hear it. You know what I'm saying? We just laughing and having a good time. You know what? I think you have an opportunity to be yourself without having anybody else outside sources depicting on what you do. Because in a restaurant, you have to conduct yourself. You know what I mean? If you guys are getting really excited about each other and somebody wants to play footsie under the table, like somebody's gonna get nervous and be like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, can they see us? There's no table curtain thing, you know what I mean? So I don't know if anybody's gonna be able to see us, playing with our feet or whatever, or doing something like that. But in a car, bro, you're on your own and you can just talk and laugh about the movie all you want.
Yeah, I think drive-in movies also might be cheaper than fairs.
Bruh, tell me about it. Just to
Because
hit that
fairs
little
is
hammer thing.
yeah, because with fairs, like I remember a long time ago when it used to be like an all-inclusive kind of thing, like, oh, just buy a
Yeah,
wristband and like this it means you can ride all the rides. And then of course there were your rides that you had to like pay for individually. And then of course your food you have to pay for,
yeah,
right? But I feel like nowadays, like for example, some of the
okay,
rodeos that I've gone to recently, like a lot of them are like, no, there's no like all inclusive kind of thing. It's more like you gotta pay per
man,
ride and you have to buy so many tickets or worth so many dollars, and then only gets you
yeah,
so far so long essentially. So if you're trying to save money, drive-in movies probably would save you some money.
for sure. Because I remember they used to have the little wristbands out there, and you could just get all exclusive. But now,
Exactly, and it was unlimited too. So it was like I
unlimited.
paid like one flat fee essentially to get in and to do like all the rides except for maybe a few here and there that were like not part of it, but it was still like 90% of everything,
Yeah, I
right?
had a bad experience with it because I had messed around. I took the girl out to dinner, and then when I went out to dinner, we went to a theme park, and I got on a gravity turn. And after the gravity turn, like I threw up.
Ew. Well, okay, we're gonna go away from fairs now, and we're
Do
gonna
the
go
fair first, not dinner
stargazing,
first. I messed up.
stargazing or country concert tickets if you like that.
You said stargazing?
Stargazing, yeah, like literally, you're
Okay.
just outside, like watching the stars.
Yeah. All right. So listen, if you're at the concert, it's loud, and let's be honest, it could go the other way. You show up to a Chris Brown concert, hey man, you might leave up. You might end up just leaving about your day. You know what I mean? So you end up at the wrong Jonas concert, Jonas Brothers, something like that. You might not end up with a date anymore. You show up with her, you might not be leaving with her. So I mean, stargazing is better than concert stargazing. You know what I'm saying? Because it could just go
Oh,
the other
true.
way. You know what
Oh
I'm
my gosh,
saying?
this is a super good question that we need to answer, Tony. And we should give both sides, like your side, my side. So this says,
Bet.
should you go low investment if there is no commitment or exclusivity initially? What do you think, Tony? What do you think?
Go low investment if there's no initiality. All right. Well, see, yeah, you got to be initiative. Okay. If there's no initiative, then yes, it'd be safer to do things like Starbucks, Barnes and Noble, walk in the park. Because obviously, if there's no initiative, you haven't done something enough to spark it for that person. You know what I mean? And not to like, Easter egg our little segue here, but I mean, this is where the whole thing about lists and all that stuff come into play, right? Because you don't know why the person is not showing initiative. And again, it may not be about them having a roster or nothing like that. It could be the fact that they're just going through some stuff. They could be moving and they don't want to tell anybody. They could be going through something and they don't want to tell anybody. We don't know why people aren't being initiative when it comes down to intimacy, but you don't know what that person mentally is going through or what they had just came out of. And going into a new relationship is a brave step. So they want to take their time. While you, on the other hand, you've healed up, you're good, your mental space is good, and you're like, I'm ready. But the other person is like, look, I just got out of something, and only reason I'm dealing with you is because you're something I've been waiting on. I just don't know if, where I am mentally with this. So you don't want to push people too far and be like, so being in an intimate situation could be as simple as, hey, I'll buy you coffee, let's go to Starbucks, and let's just talk. And that might spark, you'll be able to see and hear personally, please be listening to what the person is saying, to where you can say, okay, I think this is worth investing into.
I know. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't necessarily like use the phrase, I guess, like low investment, kind of thing. But yes,
Men see that. Men see
but
it like that.
but I guess I would agree with that. I'm all about, first dates or even first couple of dates. They can be relatively inexpensive. Like I genuinely don't care, about, like you don't have to take me out to Perry Steakhouse on date number one. Like if you do, okay. But if you don't, okay. Like because it's just
Yeah.
it's one of those things where like, this person's saying it's like, you have to think about like the cost, the con, pros kind of thing here, right? Like, what if you spend a lot of money and then you like hate this person, or you just like, nope, date two or two is not happening, right? So then
See,
you're kind of out a lot of money, or you could have kind of shifted your mindset and been like, you know what? If this person really wants to get to know me, make a genuine connection, then why don't we just go have coffee? Or it could be even like something simpler than that. Like you can go to a coffee shop and literally just get like coffee and a bagel or coffee and like some small foods there. But that would be 100% cheaper than like just going out to like any restaurant or like any kind of high end restaurant, especially too. So I agree with like not necessarily having to feel like you have to, put out a lot of money to start because that's not what it's about. That's not what it's
yeah,
ever about, right? I mean,
right.
obviously there probably are some people out there that are chasing dollar signs, but and you'll know that immediately because
You'll know it.
if you say like, oh, I want our first date to be like at the dog park or I want it to be out for coffee or something very, very small, you'll
Yeah,
know right away if someone's chasing dollar signs, they will not agree to that. They will
exactly.
100%. They'll be like, no, I'd rather go out to, and they'll name a place, right? So they'll name like a high end place. So you'll know immediately if someone's gonna chase dollar signs or someone's gonna be, quote unquote high maintenance instead of like, you know
Legit.
what, I'm just okay with coffee and stuff. But so that was definitely a good comment. And now it's time for me to show y'all one more video before we're gonna wrap up. One more
Let's
video
do it.
from her out at Lock In Terra.
We're about to ask some people
This
some
one was
questions.
also pretty
All
funny.
right,
Just the
so
reaction.
listen, it's the first date. All right, first date, y'all meeting up. Let's say y'all out here, okay? Y'all meet up. Her outfit looks trash, absolutely trash. The shoes don't match. The shirt don't match. She got glasses on. Her makeup's not popping at all. But you know what I'm saying? This is not how her Instagram picture look. She shows up looking trash. Will you just go through the date, or will you suggest to like get her another outfit?
I would probably suggest to get another outfit.
Yeah.
Schedule. Give me another appointment.
He said he ain't showing up. He's like, yo, we just gonna.
I'll call you later.
Can I get 2 waters?
And he was so serious too.
I know that was a pretty funny one too. I was like I said, I appreciate all the men and women that did our street content this time. Like I said, we got a lot of men participation, which is awesome because sometimes I feel like men can be shy. But I want to quickly remind y'all. So the QR code has been at the top the entire time to get your tickets. Okay. For speed date. So tomorrow is the escape room. Okay. So we got that coming up. Okay. That's going to be tomorrow. And then right after that, we have Dating After Dark Singles Masquerade Mixer. Okay. This FYI, these events that I am showing are in San Antonio. But if you are also in Austin, we do events out there as well. So just make sure that you scan the QR code at the very top in a second. So you can check out our Eventbrite or just search up the Dating Doc Eventbrite and you will find us there. Alrighty. Last but not least, we love hosting a podcast and we love y'all's support. Thank you so much. So this is just a really quick donation tier. You know, obviously the more that you donate, the more that you can get from us. Personal thank you video from me and possibly Tony if you donate $50 to our Venmo. Our Venmo is at the Dating Doc. Well, guys, this has been so much fun with this our summer kickoff. This was such a blast. Tony, I always love having you host with me. This was awesome. Thank you guys to everyone who joined our summer kickoff, for everyone who is going to watch our summer kickoff video. You guys were awesome. You guys were a pleasure. I appreciate so much the interactions and the comments. We always love that. We love hearing from you in real time and we love answering your questions in real time. So thank you to everybody who was watching. Thank you to everybody who came. Lastly, thank you, Tony, for being out here. Thank you for the street content that we did. Thank you for everyone who came on. You guys are awesome.